Hi, I'm Ryan. This is Sarah. We're the owners of Green Zone Fitness, and today we wanted to have a quick talk on just a few reasons why we kind of see people who are doing everything they think that they should be doing to be successful, but they're just missing a few points that are kind of regressing them and not allowing them to be as successful as they could.
And it can be super frustrating when you think you're doing all the right things in the gym and with your nutrition, but you're just not seeing the progress that you think you should. So you can use kind of these 5 things that we're gonna go over as a checklist for yourself to see if you maybe aren't doing them consistently or aren't doing them at all, and kind of go from there.
Right, so let's start with number 1. And pretty much the most important thing with seeing results is proper nutrition. So you might be doing some things where you think you're eating the right stuff, but maybe you're just eating too big of portion sizes. We see this with a lot of fats. We see this with like nuts, different things like that, different condiments that you're adding that might be like sneaking in an extra 200 calories a day, but that 200 calories a day, if you add that up over a week, that could be the reason why you're not making the progress that you want to make.
Yeah, and it could also be that you're not eating enough. I mean, if you're in the gym and you're trying to build muscle and you're not fueling your body properly and you're not in a caloric surplus, then you're gonna have a really tough time, or it's gonna take a lot longer to put on that lean muscle.
Right. And so if you're not giving yourself all the building blocks, that's what we like to call them, so it's all the different nutrients that your body needs, then it's going to think that it doesn't have the ability and doesn't have the resources to either build the muscle you want to build or burn the fat off your body, your reserves, your energy reserves, basically is what your fat is. It won't have the confidence to burn that off because it thinks that you're constantly at a deficit or constantly in a mode where you're not going to have enough. So it's storing all the time and it's not gonna burn your fat for you. So we wanna make sure that you're gonna get enough protein, enough fat, enough carbs, and all the other micronutrients to make you successful.
So that's right, nutrition's number 1. Number 2 is consistency or lack of consistency. So oftentimes people say, well, I go out, or I work out, I go to the gym, but how consistently are you doing that? Working out 1 to 2 days a week isn't going to cut it, unfortunately. So this really needs to be part of your lifestyle. You really need to be hitting the gym at minimum 3 times a week, and not just cardio. So it needs to be a combination of strength training, resistance training, and cardio, depending on your goals, depending on your weight loss goals or your muscle building goals.
Yep, and that doesn't mean that you have to spend every single day in the gym, because like even we take a day or 2 off per week, but on our days off, Sarah and I will still walk around the block a couple times, or we'll take the dogs for a walk, or we'll go for a bike ride. Yeah. Just do something that you're active, so that you're burning calories, so that your body is always moving. Because if you're just gonna take a seat and sit all day, 1 or 2 days per week, there's no possible way that you can be in a calorie deficit on that type of day. Yeah. So if you're trying to lose weight, that will not help you, because that day you're going to be 5 to 1,000 calories over, and that's going to mess up your whole week.
Yep, and consistency is really key. So if you have days, everybody has days where they're just not feeling it, they don't feel strong, they feel tired, they feel unmotivated, just get to the gym or do something. Just do something active to keep yourself in the habit of that workout routine.
And we like to do on a daily basis just a couple, extra little things to give us a few more steps. So we'll park further away from the grocery store. Sarah was out in the rain today and she had to park very back at the grocery store. She had to run all the way to her car, and that got her a lot of extra steps, So
I take those steps.
Right. Take the stairs at work instead of taking the elevator or the escalator. Drinking your water every day, making sure you're getting as close to a gallon in it as you can so that your body's hydrated and working properly. All those things on a daily basis could be just that straw on the camel's back that's going to push you over to either weight loss or muscle gain, whatever your goal is.
Yep. So number 3 we see a lot is people who are super focused on the scale. And while it's great to have a benchmark for weight, there's also a lot of other things that you have to consider in terms of progress. So just the number on the scale, that's not going to tell you how much lean muscle you have. It's not going to tell you how much water you're holding. So these are all really important variables, and if you're weighing yourself every single day, you're in for a rude awakening because your weight can fluctuate 2 to 5 pounds on a single day.
Right, and that weight could be based on a lot of other things besides how much fat or muscle you have. So you can't just look at the scale. One of the things that we find most people overlook commonly is posture. So what we mean by that is if you're keeping your shoulders up, if you're walking strong, you've got a good posture, you're gonna hide some of those little maybe extra fat pockets you might have, or some of those parts of your body that you don't like. You're gonna hide that. And if you're gonna be hunched over and you're gonna walk and you're gonna be in a terrible posture most of your day, then that's just gonna accentuate all of your flaws, which you don't wanna do. So we have to work on strengthening your internal core muscles, and we have to get everything functionally working together so that naturally you'll be walking around with good, strong posture, and people will be like, wow, did you lose weight? And no, you didn't lose weight, you're just carrying that weight better.
Yep, and that kind of goes into our next point of you're working out harder, maybe necessarily not smarter.
Sure.
So if you're doing all of these moves in the gym, if you're trying to move around a lot of weight with poor posture, you have hunched shoulders, you know, that's just going to create muscle imbalances. And it's not necessarily going to get you to your goals. So it's really important that you're working out not only hard, you know, giving your effort, but you're also working out smart. And you don't need to spend 3 hours in the gym to hit your weight loss or muscle building goals. So your strength training session should really take no longer than 45 minutes. And depending on your weight loss goals, cardio can certainly vary from that.
Yep, exactly. And choosing different variables throughout the workout is super important, because if you're gonna go and you're gonna just do legs every day or butt every single day, or you're gonna, if you're a guy, go and do chest every single day, that's gonna create those muscle imbalances. That's gonna start pulling your shoulders forward, or that's gonna start rolling your hips the wrong way, making your stomach stick out. Things like that, that you perceive as being, you know, you gain fat or something, but really it's not. It's just because you've been doing the same moves over and over and over for the last 6 months or whatever it is. When, you know, changing a grip on some different motions, or pulling from a different direction on some different motions, those are the things that you need to incorporate on a weekly basis so that you don't run into this problem of muscle imbalances.
Yep. Number 5, this can often be the most difficult for people, is you need to surround yourself with a good circle of friends, family members. You need a good support system to aid you in your fitness journey. So this means, you know, being able to say no to things sometimes, being able to say no to happy hours, to parties, to events, to whatever. If you don't surround yourself with the right people, then you're gonna fall into the trap of, you know, eating things you don't wanna eat, drinking things that you don't wanna drink, and it's just gonna keep hindering your progress.
Yep, and honestly, for most of us, who do we spend the most time with? It's most likely gonna be your coworkers, because you're spending, you know, 10 hours a day some days with them. And if you're going to lunch constantly with them, or if you're going to these happy hours, they're peer pressuring you into doing things like that, then you're sabotaging yourself. And if you want to make changes, you're gonna have to be that person in your circle that says to people, no, I'm gonna start bringing my lunch. I'm gonna start doing some of these little minute things that are gonna help you change yourself. And I promise you, in 6 months or a year, people are gonna be like, how did you lose all this weight? Or how did you change your body in such a different way? And you'll be like, well, there's been a lot of different things, but mainly I did not go to lunch with you guys or go to happy hour with you guys on a daily basis, because I'm telling you, you start adding in 800 or 1,000 extra calories a day for those types of things, and there's no possible way that you're gonna be able to hit your goals.
Yep, you really have to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable.
Right.
And people are gonna look at you when you bring your Tupperwares, people are gonna stare at you when, you know, you take the stairs instead of the elevator, those little things. But like Ryan said, 6 months from now, they're gonna ask you how you did it.
Right.
So it's just really important to have, you know, sort of a strong attitude and strong mind when you're trying to achieve your goals. And you're gonna look in the mirror 6 months from now and you're gonna be really thankful that you did.
Totally. So we hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on here, reach out to us over email or anything. We love to answer questions. We love to help people out. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that you can see all of our future content.
Thanks, guys.